guys, it's Alicia. Today I am going to be making a cookie that I think is perfect for Christmas because it has fresh cranberries in it. Now these are cranberry white chocolate macadamia nut cookies. They are a cream cheese cookie. They're soft, delicious, and like I said, I really love them because they have fresh cranberries in them. But let me show you real quick what you're going to need to make these. First off, you're going to need 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Then you're going to need 1 cup of granulated sugar, a 1/2 cup of light brown sugar packed. Here is 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon baking powder. I've got some almond extract, some vanilla, and then here is a stick or 1/2 cup of butter. And then you're gonna need 1/2 package or 4 ounces of cream cheese. And you're gonna want both your cream cheese and your butter at room temperature. You're gonna need 1 egg. And then here I've got about a cup of white chocolate chips. And then there is 1.5 cups of cranberries. I just rinsed and picked through those. And then I'm probably gonna be using about a 1/2 cup, maybe more, of these macadamia nuts. And that is what you're gonna need to make these. The first step is take your flour and you're gonna mix that together with your baking soda and baking powder real well. And I should say I am using salted butter in these. If you don't have salted butter and you want to use unsalted, you're going to want to add about a 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. But since, like I said, I'm using salted butter, I don't think they need any more salt in them. All right, I've got that all mixed together, so now I'm gonna just set this aside and work on the next step. Okay, now I'm gonna take my cream cheese, and again, that's 1/2 of that block, and I'm gonna put that in a mixer along with my stick of butter. You can do this by hand if you want. And I'm gonna just cream that together real well. And now to that, I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla, and a teaspoon of the almond extract, and my 2 sugars. And then I'm gonna mix all that together real well. I've got that mixed together. Now I'm gonna pour in my dry ingredients and mix those just until everything's incorporated together. I've got this all mixed together, so now I'm going to add in my mix-ins. I've got about a cup of those cranberries, kind of rough chopped up. I'm gonna dump those in, and I'm gonna reserve the other roughly 1/2 cup to put on top of them. Now I'm gonna add in most of my chocolate chips. I'm gonna reserve a little bit of those for the tops too. Okay, and as I was getting ready to add my macadamia nuts in here too, I was looking at that dough and thinking it looked a little drier than what it's supposed to be looking like, and I realized I completely forgot to add my egg in. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to dump the white chocolate chips and cranberries back off of this into a bowl. I'm gonna add my egg that I forgot, mix that up, and then I will be back dumping the cranberries and the white chocolate chips and macadamia nuts back in. So I'm gonna go fix that little mistake and I will be back. Okay, I mixed that egg in the dough and I've thrown back in my cranberries and my white chocolate chips. And now I'm gonna add in my macadamia nuts. I'm doing a 1/2 cup and I just did a very rough chop on these. So now I'm gonna just fold all this into the dough. Okay, I've got that all mixed in, and that is a little tough to mix all that in. I guess the less mix-ins you use, the easier, but I wanted to add a decent amount of all the different mix-ins, so it was a little tough getting that mixed up, but I got it. So now I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna go ahead and refrigerate this for probably at least an hour so that when I bake them, they don't flatten out so much. So I'll be back once these are ready, or once this dough is ready to be baked. I let the dough refrigerate for just about an hour, and now I'm gonna take it, well, I should say I have my oven preheating at 375 too. But now I'm gonna take the dough and I'm gonna just scoop a couple tablespoons worth of dough out, roll it in a ball, and place it on my cookie sheet here that I've got parchment paper down on. Now you can make these whatever size you want to make them, but I usually think this is a pretty good size, so I'm going to continue making these cookies up, and then once I get them all done, I will be back. And you want to, and I should say you want to keep them a good couple inches apart too. All right, I've got those rolled out. Now I'm going to take the remaining cranberries that I had, and I've just chopped these up too, and I'm going to just kind of place one or two of these on top of the cookie, just like that, just for a little extra color there. And you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but it just makes them, like I said, a little more colorful. Okay, now I'm going to put these in my preheated oven at 375, and I'm gonna bake them starting at 8 minutes. I'm just gonna kind of keep an eye on them and see how they're looking. I let these bake just about 10 minutes. So now I'm gonna take some of these white chocolate chips, and I'm gonna just kind of lightly press those onto the tops of these. And again, this is not something you have to do. It's just purely for looks, but I like to do it. And now I'm gonna just let these sit here for another couple minutes so that they harden up a little bit more, because they're still pretty soft right now. And then at that point, I'm gonna transfer them to a cookie rack and let them completely cool. Okay, and here I've got some on a plate. I tasted them and I think they taste pretty good, even though I messed up with that egg. But I will have my hubby try them and see if he thinks they taste just as good. But yeah, these are very, very yummy. I think that cream cheese adds a nice richness to these, and the tart cranberries kind of paired with the sweetness of the white chocolate and just the cookie itself, I think is a really nice combination. But yeah, I love these. But I'll have my hubby try them and let you know what he thinks about them.
And I'm Dusty.
Okay. Yes, he's Dusty from the shop.
Which one do you want me to take?
You can take whichever one you want.
Let's try this one.
Okay. I should say we tend to, and I do say this a lot, but we tend to like our baked goods a little bit more on the, not underdone, but not super done. As you can see, those are, maybe that one actually is a little underdone, but the bottoms of them are nice and browned. Thoughts?
I've been looking forward to this ever since you said you're going to make them.
and it's gone.
So, just phenomenal cookies. All the flavors really go together well, and so I'm picking up the, you know, obviously the butter in the cookie dough itself.
Cream cheese.
Definitely the cream cheese, and then you get that lovely vanilla extract and the chocolate, white chocolate chips, and then the pop of cranberries throughout just really balance all those flavors, because those are all rich and sweet. And then the little bit of the tart with the cranberries is just, it's really good. So you had to go back and put in the egg, right?
Yeah.
Didn't affect it at all.
It's good to know. So
Yeah.
see, you can mess up and just keep going and it'll be fine.
So I'm gonna have one more.
Okay.
And that's all I'm having of these.
All right.
All right.
We're gonna try to give some to the neighbors. Okay guys, that was cranberry white chocolate chip macadamia nut cookies. Macadamia nut cookies. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.